Draft and Develop is back on full display in Green Bay. And year two from the 2024 class is fast becoming the group that actually starts to move the needle. These aren't just depth pieces anymore. A handful of those picks are delivering real snaps, real impact, and the kind of ascending competition that forces coaches to adjust roles and raise expectations for what this roster can be. Start with the obvious: Edgerrin Cooper and Evan Williams. Cooper's role transitioned from part-timer to legitimate defensive chess piece. He's not just a blitzer on paper. He's a reliable presence who's generated pressures and shown the instincts to play alongside Quay Walker. The tape still shows room to clean up. He's not yet an every-down terror, but the growth curve is upward, and his all-rookie recognition last year wasn't a fluke. If he keeps translating pressure into plays and staying sound in coverage, Green Bay has itself a cheaper, homegrown building block on defense. Evan Williams has been quietly huge. The 4th-round pick who raised eyebrows when the Packers moved up for him has pushed those doubts aside with pro-level play. He's aggressive in run support, tight in technique, and his passer rating allowed when targeted sits in a range that screams reliability. Having a secondary piece play like that so early in his deal changes the staff's schematic options. Williams can shadow, can mix in the slot, and gives the Packers flexibility without having to burn premium draft capital on veteran reclamation. Javon Bullard's sophomore jump is another emblem of the class, doing what the Packers hope rookies will do: improve fast and broaden their role. He moved from deep safety to slot duties as a rookie and now looks far more comfortable in coverage. His passer rating allowed when targeted dropped significantly year over year. The kind of progress that lets defensive coordinators design more complicated looks and trust him in high-leverage reps. Versatility like Bullard's buys you schematic creativity, and that matters in close games. Jordan Morgan's story is a classic developmental mess turned potential asset. Moved around the line early, shoved into guard spots because of injuries, then winning the right guard job before losing it again. That is not the tidy path coaches prefer. But there's a reason the staff keeps playing him. He's shown enough technique and positional flexibility to be a long-term starter. Left tackle is still a reasonable projection if Green Bay wants to shuffle contracts next spring. He's played a large volume of snaps across spots. That floor of experience is precisely what makes late-round linemen valuable RFA-era starters. Then you have the frustrating but still salvageable cases. Marshawn Lloyd is the what-if pick. Injuries wiped out his rookie season, and missing time this year hurt continuity, but speedsters like him age into their roles if you're patient. The Packers have designated him to return and are taking cautious steps to keep him healthy. That approach makes sense. If Lloyd can string together reps, his skill set complements Josh Jacobs perfectly and could unlock downfield tempo packages that have been underused. Travis Glover and Jacob Monk are the developmental projects that may or may not pan out. Glover's limited snaps and a bad playoff showing pushed him back in the depth chart, and a season-ending lat injury stalled his timeline. Monk hasn't shown the center-ready polish the staff hoped for and has been passed over in crunch time. Those players are the reality of a class: some boom, some bust, and some middling. The key for Green Bay is that most of the premium impact is showing up elsewhere in the draft class, which cushions the misses. Tyron Hopper and Ketan Oladapo have carved out roles where teams pay good money for reliability, special teams, and rotational depth. Hopper's tackling and hustle on coverage units give the special teams coach a dependable body. And that's the kind of contribution coaches love when the margin in late-season games becomes a single play. Oladapo is largely a core special teams piece. Not flashy, but valuable. In a league where games turn on hidden yard edge plays, those contributors matter. What's notable across the board is how the young class is influencing roster construction. Green Bay isn't throwing expensive veteran dollars at middle-of-the-roster needs because the draft is starting to supply competent starters on rookie contracts. That gives Brian Gutekunst leverage. Spend where it matters. Push development where it can pay off, and use draft capital to keep the pipeline full. Two early examples of this effect are Cooper and Williams. When they play well, the front office can prioritize offensive line help or high upside skill pieces rather than maxing out on a mid-career free agent. There are still open questions. Depth on the interior line looks shaky if injuries hit again. Morgan and Glover need to prove their long-term answers rather than stopgaps. Marshawn Lloyd's health timeline is a real hinge on whether the offense expands in tempo and verticality. And if Monk doesn't find a consistent groove at center, the Packers will have to keep evaluating draft and veteran options for interior stability. But the broader trend is clear. Year 2 of this class is not a liability. It's a net plus. The Packers are getting ascending competition at key spots, which forces opponents to game plan differently and gives Matt LaFleur tactical options he didn't have a year ago. The room that felt thin last fall now has playmakers and role players who can swing hidden matchup advantages, and that's how you turn an okay season into a real ceiling-tested run. If the rest of the class settles into dependable roles, Green Bay's short-term ceiling rises. That's the luxury of drafting well. You control the narrative of your own roster. The 2024 rookies are showing signs of doing exactly that, delivering production, absorbing coaching, and pushing for more snaps. For fans and front office alike, Season 2 is the first real proof point. If the Packers keep extracting value, the next question becomes less about hope and more about how high this group can take them. Packers see their Year 2 class becoming a gift of ascending competition and key plays that raise expectations for a higher ceiling this season. Draft and develop. It's the Packers' identity under General Manager Brian Gutekunst. The 2024 class came in with 11 picks, and while not every selection has worked out, several are becoming core contributors just as they enter the most valuable stretch of their rookie contracts. Young, cheap, and much more experienced. Here's how each player from the 2024 class is progressing in Year 2. Jordan Morgan. The Packers admitted Morgan's development stalled early because they moved him all over the offensive line. He battled Rasheed Walker for the left tackle job in preseason and arguably won, but injuries forced him inside to guard to open the season. Yet he eventually replaced Sean Ryan at right guard before losing that job to rookie Anthony Belton. Across 2 seasons, Morgan has logged snaps at right guard, 478, left guard, 256, right tackle, 30, and as a 6th lineman. Despite the constant movement, his long-term projection still points to left tackle with Walker entering a contract year. Edgerrin Cooper. Cooper flashed as a rookie, earning all-rookie recognition. As a full-time starter next to Quay Walker this season, he's been less efficient as a blitzer, but remains disruptive with 9 pressures and a consistent passer rating allowed, 93.7. His athleticism and instincts continue to hint at star potential as he settles into a bigger role. Javon Bullard. Bullard spent his rookie season switching from safety to nickel corner, a tough midseason transition, but the payoff came in Year 2. His passer rating allowed dropped from 121.4 to 88.4, and he's become one of the defense's most improved players. His reliability in coverage and 3-down availability give Jeff Hafley major schematic flexibility. Marshawn Lloyd. The most frustrating pick of the class. Lloyd has played 1 career regular season game due to repeated injuries. He's been on IR all year, but was recently designated to return, a positive sign. Coaches still believe his speed and skill set will eventually complement Josh Jacobs when he's healthy. Tyron Hopper. Hopper barely played defense as a rookie and remains the 4th linebacker behind Quay Walker, Cooper, and Isaiah McDuffie. He has only 56 defensive snaps, but has improved as a tackler. His value comes on special teams across every major unit, where he's recorded 9 tackles. Have another huge Year 2 leap. Williams, an all-rookie selection, is now playing at a Pro Bowl level. He's allowing an 82.8 passer rating when targeted and is aggressive and efficient in the run game. Trading up for him in the 4th round was questioned at the time, but he has more than justified the evaluation. Jacob Monk. Drafted as a long-term center candidate, Monk hasn't developed as hoped. Though he played center and both guard spots in preseason, coaches preferred Kadeem Telford and Travis Glover in emergency situations last postseason. Monk remains on the roster, but the outlook is shaky. Keaton Oladapo. Oladapo has been solid when called upon defensively, but with Xavier McKinney, Williams, and Bullard entrenched, he's primarily a special teamer. He has 3 tackles this season and fills an important depth role. Travis Glover, a versatile project lineman, Glover logged a handful of snaps as a rookie before struggling badly in last year's playoff loss to the Eagles. He suffered a lat tear and missed the 2025 season, but remains under contract for 2 more years as he continues to develop. Michael Pratt. Pratt lost the backup QB battle last year after the Malik Willis trade. He landed with Tampa Bay, spent his rookie season and a second camp there, but was waived with an injury settlement in August and is currently out of the league. Kalen King. King showed promise as a slot corner, but never earned meaningful snaps in Green Bay. After a year on the Packers practice squad, he was waived during final cuts and joined the Carolina Panthers, where he's now on the practice squad with a brief stint on the active roster. The 2024 class isn't perfect, but the breakout performances from Williams, Bullard, and Cooper, plus the long-term potential of Morgan, have turned year 2 into a major accelerator for Green Bay's ceiling this